welcome everybody. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so pleased. This has just been a wonderful project. There's so many people to thank. I'll just start. Lava Center, thank you. Thank you to Sean. Raise your hand, Sean. Who has worked with me on this project since January. To the magnificent poets who are going to read today. Yes. Who are from all over the place. I think the furthest is New Jersey. Is that correct? Virginia. To Bardwell Farm for the food and for being my supporter in this crazy endeavor all these last couple of years. And to those of you who've contributed to this, and you have no idea how important it is. I just read in the Gazette yesterday that 37% of Massachusetts households were food insecure last year. And I know those surveys. I worked as a surveyor for 40 years. And the way they measure that, they don't give you a break. If you have to really be hungry to be food insecure on one of those surveys. So that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. And it's higher out here. It's higher in Franklin County and Hampshire County. So this is a really wonderful project. And I'll just give you a very brief sense of the history of it. So 3 years ago, I think it was the 100-year floods. Remember those floods? They were terrible. They took out a lot of farmland. I was sitting there watching the water creep closer to my house and then watching my friends and the farms around here and the people that work the food pantries watching a disaster unfold. And I thought, well, what can we do about this? How can we support people who need food and also local farms? Because some of them were wiped out by that. And there's a lot of, state programs and funding for farms, but you don't get it now. You don't get it when you need it. You get it after you've applied for it, and maybe you don't get it, and it's not forthcoming right now. So I thought, well, let's do this thing. Let's take some money and give it to a local farmer. The local farmer then can raise the produce for the Survival Center. It was the Northampton Survival Center to start, only because I know them. I know the woman who runs it used to work for me. So these things work this way. This year it's been expanded to 3. So we have the Greenfield, the Northampton, and the Amherst pantries. And I remember, Harry, do you remember that? I came out to your field with a wad of wet cash. He's like this beautiful smile on his face, like, you're out of your mind. And I remember handing it to you and saying, I got you the money. Now you got to do it. And it has developed into this beautiful relationship where the survival centers can just order whatever they want for free because we have the money to do it. And you get paid a fair amount for what you raise. And it's a beautiful system. And last year we raised about $3,000, and that translated into close to 7,000 pounds of food. And if you don't know how much that is, picture your average SUV stuffed with that dog in the front seat, stuffed with boxes of produce. Beautiful, fresh produce, not the stuff that the supermarkets decided was canceled and was giving away. Fresh firsts, beautiful stuff. And they were very, very, very appreciative of it, and it fed a lot of people. So that's what's been happening. This is a literary event because Sean does some of the same stuff in New York City, and I thought, why not? Let's try and have a literary event, among other things that we've done to raise money for this. So thank you again. Thank you again. Without further chatting, Harrison Bardwell, who is the 9th generation of his family to farm in Hatfield, Massachusetts. I also work the farm stand a couple days a week, which is lunacy and fabulous. So if you're a retiree and you hated your job, I never did hate my job, but if you don't like what you're doing, sitting around trying to be a retiree, go work for a farm stand because it's really great. Vegetables don't have opinions about anything. No meetings that happen. They don't talk back. They're either rotten or they're good. And the rules are clear. And I go out into this beautiful farm. I set it all up, and then I spend the rest of the day talking to people. So it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. There is some food here from Bardwell's. The sign got separated from it. There's a little bit of information about the farm over there. That is a therapy dog. You may pet him as much as you want. He's here to keep me from panicking. And I think that's it. So Harry, do you want to talk for a minute?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I was told to dress in my farmer garb, and this is what you get. I just came out of the field about half an hour ago to come see a bunch of you lovely people and to really thank you for all the support that you've done. Before I talk about my farm, I just want to shout out Liz. She's an amazing person. She has done so much work for my farm, the local community, and these local survivor centers. So, Liz is, I think, one of our the number one supporter of our farm, and I think that'll be like that till the day she dies. And she comes up with these really awesome, creative ideas to help multiple people, and that's. I want to say thank you about that. So our farm's a 50-acre diversified vegetable farm. Like Liz said, I'm ninth generation. We're a year-round production farm, so we're growing both in the fields and actually in high tunnels greenhouses all through the winter. And that's been a really stable sustainability thing that we've done for our farm to help ensure revenue on our farm, cash flow, and keep a viable business. Like Liz talked about, our farm and every other farm in this valley deals with the weather and climate change and political challenges and so forth. And really having people in local communities and individuals coming forth to help support farms in any different way that they can, whether that's donating a little money, coming shopping local at a farm stand, donating money to feed other people. That's a big mission that our farm and personally me has had for a long time. Is I like to feed the community, especially those people that can't afford to eat, because I think everyone deserves to eat fresh local veggies. And Liz has done a really great job, and all of you for donating money to be able to do that. So I can't say thank you enough to all of you and all the support that you have given. I hope there's more and more of this to come. And the big thing with this is killing two birds with one stone. It's supporting our farm, giving us a little bit of revenue, and it's also being able to give us the ability to grow and give food to these people in need. So that's really awesome. We're in Hatfield, Massachusetts, for those that don't know us, and I see a lot of familiar faces, which is awesome as well. So please come stop by our farm stand, come see Liz, and get a little piece of fresh veggies. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. My name is Sean Sutherland. I'm the cohort in crime with Liz, but farther south, down New York. And so I couldn't wait for this day to arrive, and here it is. So thank you all so much for being here and also for listening in on the live stream. So I'm going to introduce the one and only, Hatfield's only, Elizabeth Denny. Elizabeth Denny is an almost 65-year-old retiree who lives with her wife of 41 years and 3 dogs, including Austin, who is here today. And yes, you can pet him, in Hatfield, Massachusetts. She started writing poetry after a long career as a marketing research consultant who wrote thousands of research reports that were completely devoid of anything descriptive. No good verbs, no interesting adjectives, a lot of statistics. Retirement has not gone over well. Elizabeth now has several jobs, making art, which she's an amazing teacher, teaching stained glass to pregnant and parenting teen girls attending a high school program in Holyoke, the occasional consulting job left over from her pre-retirement career, and most importantly, working the roadside stand at Bardwell Farm in Hatfield. She gets up early, hauls vegetables up from the fields, and talks to locals and travelers about their lives. Please welcome Liz Denny.
This is the part where I become terrified. I wanted to write something about why is all of this so important to me? And this is what I came up with. This is a poem called Nothing. I'm spending the summer sweating in chaos, hands an inch above the rich valley farmland. I'm sorting romaine lettuce and curly green kale, pulling the outer leaves off cabbage so the heads shine a pale green velvet, piling strawberries high in their quarts, snipping the brown ends off of spring onions, and arranging tomatoes belly up in tidy rows on brown paper bags. The suffering of the hungry lies under those plowed fields I can see from the farm stand, just below the harrow's reach. What do you do if you grow up and nothing claims you? Nothing plants you in the dirt. Not your parents, not the town you lived in for less than a year before moving to the next town, not the apartments and garages and back seats of cars you thought were rooms. What do you do if you grow up and realize that nothing owns you? Born into nothing, and nothing will follow you the rest of your life. I am 64 now, and I have plenty to eat. Potatoes, chicken, lamb, beef if I want it, milk, pasta, red or green peppers, vanilla soft serve. If we make it through childhood, we all suffer from something. Maybe you moved too often. Maybe you moved too often or not enough, or things were too loud, or nobody in your family ever spoke, or your apartment had orange shag carpet in the kitchen. Maybe your hunger grew over the years into a beast. Maybe it festered quietly, a little starving slime mold hidden under the rubbish bin by your kitchen sink. Mine remains both small and galactic. It's an impossibly itchy scab on my neck, a tiny beacon to everyone in sight that my particular scarcity has the color of rhubarb. When I was 8, my younger brother coughed all summer. His lungs were past-ripe grapefruits, thick and the color of linen. He and I hacked our way across the gully behind the elementary school through a stream that drenched our sneakers and embroidered our calves with rough, succulent leeches. If you're hungry enough, you'll eat your own hair. You'll eat a summer leech plucked off your brother's left shin because it will look like licorice, ropey, fat, sugary, and pitch black. Things that are not food become food, and food becomes itself a yearning. In my dreams, I feed my brother olives and ginger snaps. This is not the first time I've worked on a farm. My grandmother grew apples in a small orchard next to the house she shared with my grandfather and one of my aunts. Russets, greenings, pink ladies, granite beauties, and half-hearted Baldwins coated with rust, mealy and tasteless as flannel sheets. Helen picked up the bruised gray globes and tossed them into a wire crate that once held bottles of Jersey milk. She never did anything more with the fruit. No pie, no cider. But she fed us oatmeal with bananas and raisins for breakfast every morning for a single hot summer. I ate mashed potatoes on a picnic table by her back door. Tomatoes, broccoli with onions, sweet, bland lima beans, lemons and almonds. I stood on a rock outside the kitchen window in a t-shirt and underpants and watched her cook. Our mother returned in October and we moved away. There's a dialect spoken by those who have when they are talking to those who have nothing. Do you have, the woman asks at the farm stand, pineapples? Do you have coconut? Mangoes? Do you have fine meats, cheeses, or knickknacks I can buy? Do you sell anything in the store of your life that I can buy and cook in my freshly appointed kitchen while you watch from outside? We have carrots, I tell her. They were picked yesterday. In my dreams, I say to her as I stand on tiptoe outside her kitchen, take the feathered life of a roasting chicken, fry the lungs, kidneys, liver, and neck in cast iron in a quart of oil, flip the intestines with a long-handled spatula, add salt, add red wine, add those spring onions, add broccoli, parsnips, the season's first tomatoes. Stew with red peppers burned on the gas range to soften the skin. The heart of a chicken cut apart has 4 chambers, just like ours. The suffering of the hungry lies under the plowed fields below the reach of the harrow. Nothing ever leaves those fields. My sister and I once hid behind the shed in the neighbor's backyard, our feet loose and pressed into the sand. My hands rested on her 6-year-old back. There was a yolk in the sky the color of uranium. She, with sage-sweet cheeks, asks as the sun sits its narrow haunches down, and we watch the townspeople's kitchens light up in the darkening. What is that up there, on that sky, see? Half to the north, half northwest, a meteor splits across the amber corridor. I am hungry, she whispers. I hold her as she traces the arc with her fingers, and I cannot speak. It's summer, I tell her finally. The meteor tracks an arc across the dark silk. We're looking through a vast doorway through which she and I will never pass. She asks, what holds things up? As far and as wide and as long behind and before us as we can see, nothing. And that's it.